You have cancer, and it's time to get serious. Thank you for dedicating your time to watch my 3-part series. I truly appreciate your commitment to viewing all 3 videos, where I will be discussing the preparations, the actual procedure, and the post-operative care involving your upcoming ileostomy procedure. In all 3 videos, at times I may be referring to notes. I'm sorry if this is a distraction, but a lot of things help me in my recovery, and I want to make sure these things help you in your recovery. In the first video, we will delve into the discovery of your cancer or tumor. We will go over meeting your surgeon and what questions to ask in your first meeting. We will explore the essential steps in preparing your home for when you return from the hospital. We will talk about your hospital stay. And then last, we will talk about your recovery process when you are at home. In the second video, we will be discussing mainly the ostomy bag. We will go over what we need to do if the bag leaks. We will also go over hygiene. And last, we will go over giving you the strength to go out in public with an ostomy bag. In the third and final video, we will go over the ostomy reversal. I hope this happens to you because it did happen to me. And if so, we will go over the hospital stay and recovering at home. Okay, let's get started. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mike, and I'm 50 years old. In December of 22, there was bleeding when I went to the restroom. I completely ignored it and let it go on for many months to where I finally had a colonoscopy in July of 23. When the results came in from that colonoscopy, it wasn't good. They found a tumor in my colon and immediately told me it was cancer. So as we start this video, let's talk about finding out you have cancer. As I woke up groggy from my colonoscopy, I was immediately met by my doctor. I can see the look in his eyes. Things weren't okay. As he showed me a picture of an extremely large tumor in my colon. To me, it looked like a big peanut M&M. After he told me he ran a couple tests, the tumor did indeed have cancerous cells in it. Kind of in shock. You're just kind of like, okay, what's next? But within the hour, I'm making an appointment with a surgeon. And within 3 hours, I'm making an appointment with the oncologist. That's when it hits you. You have cancer, and it's time to get serious. So let's talk about your meetings with your doctor and your surgeon. My first appointment was with my oncologist. That was a little bit scary in the fact that, why was I seeing him first? Did something happen in the x-rays? Did my tumor spread? Is this more serious than I thought? But to put your mind at ease, your first meeting with the oncologist is basically just like meeting your quarterback for your football team. Your first meeting is pretty light, but not too much information is passed because they haven't seen the tumor or the cancer yet inside your colon. So no game plan is really formed in the beginning. It's just more of a meet and greet and to answer any questions you might have. Keep in mind, most of the questions you have probably won't be answered because they haven't seen the tumor yet. So any question's not a bad question, but just be prepared to be a little bit head scratching when you leave because no questions you had will probably be answered. But your second visit after the surgery is when things will get interesting with your oncologist. My second appointment was meeting the surgeon. And this is where we will go over the removal of your cancer or tumor. What I would highly recommend before seeing the surgeon is have a list of questions that are important to you. And just know, no question is a stupid question. If it's important to you, ask it. Questions I would ask is, how long will we be in the hospital? How long was the surgery? What's the recovery time at home? When can I go back to work? Diet, exercise, drinking, stuff of that nature. Pretty much gets you back to living like you were. The reason why I want you to have as many questions as possible is, like in my case, the surgeon who was amazing, nicest guy you've ever met, but they're not talkers. They're not one to sit and shoot the breeze. They're going to come in with a game plan, talk about the game plan, and they're going to move on. And it's going to feel really short, and I want you to feel comfortable. So I think by having a list of questions, you keep asking questions, the doctor stays, talks longer, gets to know you, and it makes the situation a lot more comfortable for you, because this doctor is going to, probably save your life. There's 2 questions that I would highly recommend you go over with a doctor towards the end of the visit. One, and it's not a big deal, but it could be with your insurance. Ask, is the operation going to be done by a robot, or is it going to be done by the doctor himself or herself? In my case, my insurance took both. However, I had a coworker's brother whose insurance didn't cover the robot, and it had to be done by hand. So we talked about that, and the doctor himself, preferred the robot, which kind of put me at ease, because AI is the future, I guess. The second question, and this is a must, if you're ever talking about recovery with dealing with an ostomy bag, go over where the doctor is going to put your stoma. The reason why this is important, and I don't want to have happen what happened to me, happen to you, because my life was torture. And that's what my second video is going to be about, the ostomy bag. Not knowing anything about an ostomy bag, he put the ostomy bag in my belly fold. Now, I'm a larger man, so anytime I moved, twisted, bent, stood up, my ostomy bag would rip and I would leak everywhere. So I do not want that to happen to you. It's a nightmare. So when you talk about ostomy bags and ostomy placements, go over positions of the stomach that are best for you and the doctor. If he or she puts the stoma, or talks about putting the stoma in the belly fold and you're larger, ask if it can be moved a centimeter higher, a centimeter lower. You want to have this ostomy bag placement perfect, because you don't want to leak, you want to be able to sleep, and you don't want to have to go through what I went through. So just talk about placement of the ostomy in the stoma, and you'll be good to go. All right, good luck, and we'll talk about getting your home ready in the next segment. So the next step, obviously, is having your operation. When you book your appointment for your operation, there's a good chance there's going to be a length of time before it happens, unless you have a severe case, which I hope is taken care of swiftly and quickly. But in my case, I had about 4 weeks before my operation was to happen, and you kind of scratch your head like, why 4 weeks? Why isn't it tomorrow? It's cancer. Be patient, understand your cancer's probably not going to spread. Just what I'd recommend is, let's be ready for when you come home to recover. A lot of the things I'm going to discuss, you already have. And it's not so much not having them, it's you need to have more of them. So let's get into what I'd recommend having for your home to recover. The first one is going to be cheesy, but what I'd highly recommend is find love with your family. You are going to need your family so much during your recovery. You're not going to know how much you need them. So I would recommend getting in line with your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad, talking about what's going to happen, understanding times are going to be tough, but you're going to need their love and support because your road is going to be pretty crazy and it's not going to be easy and you're going to need them. So get the bond between your loved ones hardcore and in check. Next is kind of like not so much items from the house, but you are having a major surgery. So before you go under the knife, I would highly recommend checking with your insurance, making sure everything's okay. Get your work all situated, your time off, your FMLA. Make sure everything's covered with work because you'll have obviously time to fix all this. Share any passwords with your wife or husband and family, if Venmo and all these money apps. If you have something might happen, you want to make sure your family gets the money. So tie up any loose ends with apps and work and stuff of that nature, and you'll feel more at ease when you come home from the hospital, knowing that your wife or your kids and your family were taken care of. Moving on to possessions that will help your recovery. Let's start with clothes. If you're going to have your stoma and your ostomy bag, you're going to be lifting up your shirt quite a bit. So I would highly recommend getting the next size up or even the 2 sizes up t-shirts. Because let's be honest, you're going to be new at this. You're going to spill, you're going to have leaks, you're going to have trial and errors. So the shirts and clothes, you get dirty. Just get cheap t-shirts. And then also piggybacking on that, I would recommend getting some cheap sweats or some cheap shorts. Because again, you're going to spill on them and you want to make sure that it's not really good clothes. And it's also comfy clothes. You want to be comfortable. And obviously socks. Socks are key. You're going to be in and out of the bathroom, cold floors. So wearing socks constantly is going to be part of the deal. If you're home supplies, I would start with making sure you have at least 2 beach towels that you don't mind if they get leaked on or spilled on. Reason why I say 2 is 1 for the bed and 1 for your couch or sitting sofa where you might recover. You just never know when you're going to leak or if something's going to happen. So to protect your bed and protect your couch is highly recommended. Also, I would try to find maybe 2 crummy sheets or some kind of extra long cloth that you can lay down underneath the towel or above the towel. So you have that hard material of the towel rubbing against your skin when you try to sleep or try to rest on the couch. Moving on to supplies. Again, you already have this stuff, but you're going to need more of it. Toilet paper. Buy as much as you possibly can. Your body is going to go through a crazy phase with this ostomy bag. And there's times where this bag is going to fill up. You come back down to watch a TV show, and within 5 minutes, it fills up again. It's crazy how the body works. And you're going to be cleaning it and then cleaning messes. So obviously, plenty of toilet paper is key. Baby wipes. I'd recommend getting non-flushable baby wipes because they seem to be a little bit more denser. Plus, they're a little bit wetter, so you feel cleanliness. I would buy a mini trash can and also some office supply waste paper baskets. The reason why I recommend that is if you do have leaks, you're going to have to be constantly patting yourself with tissue or paper towels or wipes, and you're going to need a place to throw everything. So having that nearby will be handy. Obviously, Clorox wipes. If you do have a spill on a carpet or the floor, you want to be able to clean it up quickly. Also, I hate to anticipate this, but what I would maybe do is go on Amazon or Mammoth, wherever you buy your items, is buy a bulk of washcloths. On the outside chance you do leak, these are the best. Get a little warm water and clean yourself up. But hopefully if you don't leak, you don't need them. But looking into getting washcloths is going to be beneficial, I think. When you are now recovering from your operation and probably your family has gone and you're in your room, there are some things you might notice around your body. One for sure is your IV. Second, you're going to have a catheter. Third, you're going to have your new ostomy bag. And fourth, you're going to have a drain bulb attached to your stomach. This is actually sewn into your stomach with a stitch and is loose. And let me tell you, if it falls or moves or pulls, it hurts. So what I would do is the minute you see a nurse or a staff member, ask for a safety pin and pin that bulb on your gown. That way when you move, it won't pull and it won't hurt your stomach. My stay at the hospital was about 3.5 days. Figuring at least 2 to 4 days, you'll be in the hospital to recover. There will be some discomfort. Obviously the beds are horrible, the pillows suck, but do your best not to take medication. Try to fight it off like I did. You'll be better off for it. I really truly believe that. Highly recommend going on walks. Get up, walk the floor. If that's a little difficult for you, just get up out of bed and walk to the door and back. Or just get up and sit in a chair. All these things, these movement things, really help. Eat and drink. Drink as much as you can. The hospital should have a pitcher. Always have water in that pitcher. When it's time to eat as much as you can. If you're full or don't want to eat, like if you get Jell-O or some kind of food you can keep, just put off the side and snack on it later. During your stay at the hospital, if it's anything like my visit, you should have 2 ileostomy specialists come and visit you. If not 2, you'll definitely have 1. The 2 specialists I had was first, he was a specialist that basically starts preparing you for life after. He came in and we talked about the bag and he showed me how to drain it. He showed me how to clean it. We talked about going out into the world, products to take with us, just encouragement to get ready for life with an ostomy bag. Second visit, which is really important, this person will be the person that helps you change the bag. She went over everything, the bags, the wafers, all the ingredients you need to have a bag snug and all the information that goes with, your new lifestyle. What she did and what she'll probably do with you is when you have the bag, they're going to want to have your family see how it's done to help you when you're home. So when they changed my bag, they changed it a day later, and my wife came and went through the steps, and that's when I started to leak, and that's when the fun began. But like we said, we'll conquer that in video 2. But it's nice to know because then she finds out what I have to do, what positions I should be laying in. cutting the bag and so forth, and getting ready to go home to recover with your bags. My hospital had videos on the TV for me to watch dealing with my ostomy bag. The videos are pretty cheesy, but they really get to the point of taking care of yourself when you're at home dealing with your ostomy bag. The videos I watched, I think, were more of a colostomy bag situation because they put the bag on with ease, and this bag's not easy to put on when you have an ostomy because your stoma is pretty small and sunken in. It's a little difficult, but nevertheless, the videos are really good to watch, comfort you, and getting ready to send you out when you go home. Going back to the ostomy specialist, when she comes in, I would highly recommend putting on the ostomy belt that goes around your belly. This is just extra protection that sucker is tight around your stomach, and it takes a little time to get used to because the material is going to be rubbing on your back, and it's going to be a little annoying at first. So just to get used to it, and believe me, it's a lifesaver. You want that belt on as much as you can because it really keeps the bag tight. Regarding all the ostomy products that will come your way, take everything. Don't leave anything in the hospital room. When you're ready to go home, take every stitch of paper, every ostomy bag, every product. Take everything home with you. The reason why I say that is when you go home, you don't have any products at home. And when you got to change the bag, you're going to need some products immediately, and that's where these come in. You're eventually going to be contacted by outside companies to get your business by buying products, but it's going to be a few days before that happens. So take everything you can from the hospital room, and you'll thank me for that later. Last, be kind to the staff. They're trying to get you healthy. They're trying to get you to recover. So be kind to the nurses and the staff when they come in your room. Okay, let's talk about healing at home. So you finally got the green light to go home. What a great feeling. On your last night, I would highly recommend texting your family. And they're probably going to do this anyway because they care about you. But just make sure the blanket and the towel is on the bed and on the couch. That way when you get home, all your materials are protected just in case of a leaking issue. When you get home, don't be shocked that your family might be acting a little weird. They don't know what to do. They don't know how you're feeling. They're scared. They're happy. So they might treat you a little different. And it's just because they love you and they just don't know exactly what you want them to do for you. So just be patient with them. Let them help you whenever they can. And just know that it'll pass and things will get back to normal within the next couple of days. Also, make sure all your products are out and easy accessible for when you go to the restroom. Things will be new. In my case, I'm a bigger guy, like I said, so unfortunately I couldn't sit down and drain my ostomy bag. I had to stand up and drain it. If that happens in your case, occasionally you're going to have splashback, so you want to have your clean cloths to clean the spills that happen around the toilet. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, it will be tough. It will be tough. Once you're home and that wears off, life will be hard. This is so new to you, it's so new to everybody that it will really suck. But stay with it. Things will get better, I promise. The toughest thing you face is sleeping. You're not going to be able to sleep like you used to. You're going to have to sleep on your back. You can't sleep on your side in the beginning because your stomach hurts and you're going to be scared that your bag's going to fall off. So you'll be sleeping on your back a lot. If you don't have an issue, which is great, I would highly recommend setting an alarm in the beginning. So maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. That way, if your bag fills up, you wake up and you drain it and you can go back to bed and set an alarm again. I didn't have that problem. I didn't sleep much anyway. So, but if you're getting good sleep, awesome. Just set an alarm because you don't want the bag to get full. The bag will get full and it will eventually leak if you don't tend to it in the night. Eat and drink as much as you can, especially water and hydration powders. You will get very dehydrated. In the beginning, everything's going to go through you. Everything. You won't be keeping food down long at all. The food you eat will be in the bag before you know it. You'll feel lightheaded. You'll feel weak. And just because you have no energy, your energy source is gone. So eat mildly, but eat continually, small stuff, and keep drinking. Now, you might get some information about foods not to eat while you're at home with your ostomy bag. My doctor said eat away because it's going to be the same intestine that they reattach when you have your reversal. But I was told don't eat corn, don't eat peanuts. I ate everything. I didn't have a problem with anything. The one thing I did have a problem with was pineapple spears. Chunks of pineapple, for some reason, that's the only food. When I ate it and when it came out, it kind of hurt. So just keep that in mind. I don't know if we're all different, so who knows what's going to happen. One thing I would do, because people care about you, is return text messages from your friends and family. Return phone calls. Read all the letters. Soak in the love. People really want you to heal and be up, and they want to know how you're doing, but they're too scared to call you. So just to hear from friends and family, return the texts, return the calls, and you'll feel better for it. One important thing I would recommend you do after a couple of days of recovery is get into a routine. Get up at the same time if that's possible. If you haven't slept or tired, at the same time, make your breakfast. Go for a walk. Anything, watch a TV show for a half hour. Something you just have to do. Keep your mind focused on moving forward. The walk doesn't have to be long. It's up and down the street. Just maybe if you have stairs, just up the stairs once. You're not going to be immobile, but just feel weird, but just go for a little walk. Get into a routine. Do the same thing every day, and it will be good for you. Last, before I get into healthcare, home healthcare, ask for help. There's a lot of things you can't do on your own. So when times are tough and you really feel you've bothered your family, just ask for help. You have to. Changing the bag is really tough. You just can't do it on your own. You need help. So ask for help. You'll thank me for it. Also, on a side note, regarding showers, I found showers to be a little difficult just because the bag itself gets so wet, it doesn't dry. Now, they recommend taking a shower like normal with the bag on. However, I the bag just got so wet. It just was wet on your clothes and on your skin. It just felt uncomfortable. So I would do sink showers every morning and brush my teeth. And then what I would do is I would take a full shower when I was going to put a new bag on. So when I took the bag off, I would take a full-blown shower. And then once I dried off and I was ready to go, my wife would help me put my new bag on. So again, I can't say enough. If you need help, ask. If unfortunately you are alone and you're dealing with this by yourself, a lot of the paperwork they gave you from the hospital will have phone numbers and websites to visit, self-help groups, people that will come and help you who have ostomy problems or ostomy issues or ostomies for the rest of their life that want to help you. So really get in touch with people that who are out there to help you. I just want to point out something that's going to be extremely odd or weird, and I don't want you to be scared or confused like I was, because they didn't tell me about this and it could affect you. In my case, I still had a couple centimeters left of my rectum. So if you do have any of your rectum left after your ileostomy surgery, you're still gonna go number 2. It sounds weird, but within the first 4 or 5 days, you start to go. What's happening is, if you have a little bit of the rectum left, it is soaking up the water you're taking and mucus, and obviously it's releasing it. So I know you're eating food, I know you're drinking, and 99% of that's going to come out of the bag. But don't be alarmed if all of a sudden you feel like you have to go number 2, because you do have to go. It'll be clear liquid. I was told if it's blood color, be quick to call the surgeon. If it's if it's clear, white, or a light shade of pink, don't worry about it. That's normal. But just keep in mind, you will be going number 2 at some point during your recovery. And sometimes you'll go quite a bit. There was a spell where I went 6 straight days. Thought it was a problem, but the doctors just said, roll with it. You're going to be fine. And then you'd be surprised you go like 4 or 5 days without doing it. So just be mindful of that. When you depart the hospital and you're home, I would assume, just like me, you're going to be sent a home healthcare nurse to help you with your ostomy issues and getting you set up at home. In my case, this was a horrible, horrible, horrible ordeal. They weren't any good. I was told that my home healthcare would have all ostomy products and be able to help change the bag. I had 3 visits and not one of them had any ostomy products at all. I was extremely fortunate that what I took from the hospital I had. And again, like I'll go over in video 2, I was leaking, so I was going through bags like every hour. I was lucky enough to where one company sent a care package, and so I had products for that. But in my case, home health care was horrible. In your case, I hope it's not. I hope they come in and they help situate you. They will, obviously, just like a nurse, they'll come in, they'll check, they'll make sure everything's good. If you have any questions, they'll be there to help you. They'll be there to help change the bag and walk you through it if you're still needing help. And all around, it's just like a visit. Schedule that. Your wife or husband or mom, parents have to go back to work, so you will be home alone. And you want to make sure that if you have any issues, you call them, because they do come to you when you're in emergency situations. At least mine did. But just keep in mind, if you're doing good with your ostomy bag and they're coming to check on you, there's a really good chance they're not going to have any products to help you change your bag. So make sure you have something on hand when they come to visit, and you should be okay. I hope this video did help a little bit with your upcoming ostomy surgery. There's a lot of things that's going to happen to you that they're not going to tell you about, how to prepare for, and be ready for. And the reason is because everybody's different. People heal differently, people have different issues, so a lot of this is trial and error, and it's frustrating. So I made this video to hopefully get you ready for your recovery after your surgery, and I truly hope it helped. As I end, I would like to mention and tell you that this was the biggest help for me to recover, and if you do it, it'll help. But find time to go to church. It's a lifesaver. If you can't live stream a service, pray. I'm not super religious, but the cancer changes your mind thought, and it does wonders. If you go during the week like I do, it's not as crowded as like obviously Saturday or Sunday. Catholic churches obviously have services throughout the week. They're generally pretty quick, about 20 minutes to a half hour. What I did is I always sat near the bathroom, and if I had to drain my bag, I would just wait for a certain pause, and I'd just go do it. But I feel amazing when the service is over. So if you have the ability, I highly recommend that you attend church, or at least pray, because it will help. Thank you again for watching my first video on ileostomy surgery, preparedness, precautions, and recovery at home. In my next video, I will deal strictly with the bag. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And good luck to you. God bless.